Hi everyone, this is Dr. Donna Corriel, and I am creating a medicine monologue. So this episode of Medicine Monologues is going to be discussing videos and why physicians should consider creating videos with themselves in those videos. So we all know that the online world and social media is a great way to connect these days with our colleagues and with patients using the online space. It's a very quick way to connect, and it can save us a lot of time in the long run. Now, there are all kinds of ways to build videos that showcase you as the expert in your field. For example, you can be starting out a private practice in your local area and want to market yourself as a thought leader, and you can use videos in order to create educational content that can help establish you as the expert. Another way to use videos through educational content creation is that you're already working for your practice, or you could be employed, and you could be making videos on educational content that could be shared with your patients after a pertinent visit. And you can think of that as a substitute for the brochures and the pamphlets that are handed a lot of times to patients after their visit, talking about their new diagnosis or the medication that they've just been prescribed. And those pamphlets and such are very impersonal. And building educational content is such a fantastic way to help educate patients personally from your own angle, from your own perspective. This way, you're not just giving them a brochure that a pharmaceutical company has created or that maybe your hospital has created, but you're actually calling their attention to a video that you've made and that you star in, and that explains to them more about their disease state, about their chronic condition, about the medications that they're about to start. It really can also save valuable visit time, so that instead of taking up another 20 minutes talking about the potential side effects of the medication you've just the medication you've just prescribed, you can call their attention to the video that speaks about it. And again, the really nice thing is that there's actual continuity. So they're not only getting treatment by you in the office, but they're also seeing you in the video afterwards, even if they're watching it from the comfort of their own home. So it's a really great way to create content where you are continuing to be seen as the prescriber, and it really helps to build up trust with our patients. So building a video series is just such a great way to build up our expertise as thought leaders. But there are really some creative ways of creating video series nowadays, and I call it series because that's what I do. I've built many series over the years, some really cool standout ones, and you don't need to be an actual filmmaker or producer or director in order to create a series of videos that are really impactful. You just have to be convinced that it's going to make a difference to someone out there, and you have to be motivated to actually make it. Now, we do the venture that I've created, SoMeDocs. I know that it does a lot, but one of the newest features that we have is that we can build the videos with you. So it's a much easier way to build the video because you don't necessarily have to be tech savvy and you don't have to understand how to do that. You could just basically do it. You could build. So we're now offering that. But the other really cool thing is that we have a series section that actually features series. So yours could be added into there as well. We call that section like Netflix, but for healthcare, the series section, because it literally looks like you're looking at Netflix. And it just has a bunch of series that are relevant to health and healthcare. And it could feature you. So that's something that we're offering as well, is that we build you a video series, but then we add it into our series section and we market it. We circulate it around our subscribers and followers and readers. So it's really nice. There's really unique ways to build video series. As you can see in our series section, there are ways to promote your thought leadership through a talk show. So I build a talk show called The Six. I originally called it The Five, but I realized that there was already a show called The Five, and so I changed it last minute to The Six and added like an extra digit in the logo. And The Six is a show where I bring together in each episode 5 other physicians, colleagues that can discuss different reels that I flash on the screen. And it's a really fun show where we really discuss a lot of interesting and cool things. Sometimes it can be serious, sometimes we laugh, sometimes it's sad, but it's literally like a talk show that you could tune into on your TV and just watch people sitting around a table and talk. That's literally the crux of it. You too can build something of the sort where you are a host or you are one of several hosts where you're talking about a specific topic. So if you are a sleep expert, right? We have a sleep conference coming up. If you are a sleep expert and you wanted to build a show, you could do that on your own, or we could help you to do that by setting up the virtual stage where your guests would just get a link and know the date and the time to put on their calendar and know that at this day and at this time, they just have to click in and they join to talk. And it's a great way to, again, build thought leadership. And you could certainly be the host. You could also be the guest in your own show. That's certainly an option. You can have a show where you are the host and there is one other person that joins you each time, much like podcasts are built. And you can even have a show where there are multiple guests, just like The Six built. Those are specifics that you need to think through on what you're most comfortable in, what you are going to get maximal usage and effectiveness out of. Because, for example, if you have 5 or 6 people on a virtual stage, then you're probably not going to speak as much as the others, right? Because however long your episode's going to be, let's say it's 30 minutes, you have to divide it by 6 on average, because everyone's going to want to talk. As opposed to if you bring just one other person on and it's you and them, you can certainly get more time in terms of hearing you speak and not just your guest. That's another option that you can take on, is if you and just one other person hop on a video to film a show, you could either do podcast style where you are interviewing them, or you can have more of a discussion where you're talking one to the other. And so you sort of have equal time getting showcased, right? It's not just you asking the other person questions and finding out about them, but you too are the highlight of that show. So that's another way of building up thought leadership, even if you bring in other guests. And then another option is...
We'll be right back. SoMeDocs is building incredible conferences and courses on some of the most asked for topics in health and healthcare. Take a look at this writing course.
I am here to tell you, you will use this book pitch for far more than talking to agents and publishers.
What should we watch out for? What resources are there to help us? How can we handle this?
I will be sharing about
how I built a narrative medicine curriculum for our fellows, and why building such a curriculum has been really essential to offer a space for diastole.
If you're looking to find your voice on the page, this is the workshop for you. You may have a writing project in mind, you may not, and you just are curious about getting creative.
We'll cover 7 strategies from telling it slant to magic realism and surrealism to meaning making and telling the story head on.
We're going to talk about all the key elements your story needs to ensure its best beginning.
We'll explore how to get started in book publishing and turn your passion and expertise into a compelling book proposal, how to pitch an editor, and what to expect from the publishing process.
You'll learn how to write a personal essay that readers want to read and editors want to publish by doing just that.
Access this conference on Writing for Healthcare Professionals exclusively on SoMeDocs.
And then another option is yourself, right? Just like medicine monologues, where I'm just literally talking to the camera, and that's okay because I'm envisioning that there are other people behind that camera. This could easily be a conference where I'm teaching. This could literally be a visit with a patient behind closed doors where I am talking to them and teaching them about their chronic illness or their medication, etc. But instead, I am teaching all of you, my audience, and this is pertinent to building up thought leadership. So there are all kinds of ways to build a video series and a show. Another really great part about building a video series is that you can easily convert a video series into a podcast. So you take one episode that's a video, right? Let's say it's a 30-minute YouTube video, right? Or video, let's say, that you haven't yet uploaded to YouTube. I could talk about that as well. And you can very easily convert it from that video, what we call an MP4, into audio or an MP3. And you can, once you create a podcast, you can literally just upload that MP3 into your podcast. But you can also upload that MP4, that video, up into YouTube so that your followers see it. So again, how does my venture, how does SoMeDocs help you in this? Well, first of all, it can help you to take all of the tech out so that you don't have to be involved, right? It can help you to actually build the videos so that you don't have to figure out, well, what am I using? Am I using Zoom? Am I not? How am I going to get this guest to come on, etc., right? We build it for you and with you, right? We then edit it for you. We take out all the uhs and the ums, and we put in cool intros and outros, and we make sure that it's edited nicely and that there's scene changes, and that you get handed to you an episode that you own that you can then do whatever you want with. You could upload it to YouTube. You can have it up on your website. You could share it on social media. You get a snippet to share on social media to each episode, and you can do whatever you want with it. Now, doing it with SoMeDocs, the really nice part is that you can also have your series appear in our series section. You can have the videos all appear as a series on our own website of SoMeDocs, doctorsonsocialmedia.com, which has a big following. And we would not only build a very beautiful template to showcase, just like on Netflix, your show is going to appear next to all the other squares. In this case, it would be on SoMeDocs, but we would also take each episode and publish it, let's say once a month or once a week, however cadence you wish to have it published. And then we would circulate it in our newsletter so that everybody sees when a new episode comes out. So it's a really nice way to not only help with building a series of videos, but also getting it placed into our series section. So it's added marketing that you get. And what you also get in a package is a nice consultation about the series. What are you going to build? What makes sense for you based on your goals of what you are trying to do? What kind of videos should you create? When you're done, should you upload it to YouTube? Should you upload it to the site? Should you upload it on both? That's the really cool part, is that there is no, defined way to do things. Everything is based on you and your needs. So I hope that you enjoyed this SoMeDocs Medicine Monologues. It's about creating videos to increase our thought leadership and exposure, and to really make an impact with our patients, with our audience, or whatever we are trying to do and whatever the goal is in our life at the moment. Feel free to contact me at somedocs@somedocs.com. I am the physician behind the venture. I built it all and I run it all. And I love creating content and helping physicians become the experts online that they are in real life.
Thanks so much for listening.